blowing in the wind. Windows down on the interstate. I was confused.
Welcome to 2K Sports. What could be better than kicking back on a Sunday afternoon watching the NBA? I'm Brian Anderson with Stan Van Gundy and Hall of Famer Grant Hill. Allie LaForce will be reporting from the sidelines. Not often you see him take that shot. Well, Grant, when you take a look at this matchup, both these teams feature an impressive backcourt.
No question, B.A.
And I get the sense that bragging rights are on the line here. Everything you can do, I can do better. Expect some exciting back-and-forth action in this one.
Here's Barrett.
Oh! Wow!
Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Yeah, one of the better dunks we've seen from Barrett. My goodness.
Pass to McDaniels. It's good. And the assist that time from Ball.
Well, when you have a scorer as skilled as he is, you do everything you can to get him the looks he needs.
Kessler, a screen to the middle. And finished off by Kessler.
Great roll by Kessler after setting the screen. That's textbook.
There's a screen. Here's McDaniels to the paint. Laid it in with a nice touch off the window. He's got 5.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
Now here's Barrett. Shot on the wing. And it's Wiseman with the rebound.
Well, that one should be in his wheelhouse, but just off the mark.
Stan, another head coach from the Greg Popovich tree, Will Hardy, who started his career in San Antonio.
And there have been a lot of successful guys that have come through the Spurs organization. Will Hardy is just another one who is developing into an outstanding NBA coach.
He hits the second from the line.
A defensive ace. Jaden McDaniels gets the toughest perimeter assignment every night, using his length, athleticism, and effort to frustrate opponents.
Attacking in the painted area. Clearly that was their game plan coming in.
Here's Ball. Pass to Wiseman. And he buries his first look.
Well, early in this game, they've made one good play after another.
Here's Utah, trailing by 2. Barrett with it, guarded now by Wiseman. Kicks it out to Barrett. For 3, here's Kessler. And finished off by Kessler.
Well, gobbling up boards is what Kessler does best. Got some points out of that one, too.
That one goes. Count it. And it's Mitchell with the ball for the Jazz. Here's Barrett. And he dunks it down.
And despite the size mismatch, getting a little aggressive down there in the paint.
Yeah, he didn't let the defense affect him there. He just kept his focus.
Now here's Wiseman. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
Ooh, and they immediately answer back with a dunk on the other end.
look at the power on that.
He has to be one of the top dunkers in the game today. Here's Barrett. Picked by Smith. Shoots. Barrett missing again.
It can be tough to find space in the mid-range area. Probably should have passed that one up.
What bounce from McDaniels, just leaping into the air for that dunk.
Wiseman with it. Guarded now by Mitchell.
Heady play to stop that easy layup right there. I mean, make him earn it at the line.
All right, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Chicago?
Well, they're in a great flow. The ball's moving. All those assisted buckets means the offense is running well.
Another area they've excelled in is the points in the paint. They've been able to gouge the interior defense so far in this one.
The three from Ball. Jazz trail by 6.
Edge gone. First personal foul. First team foul.
For 3, Barrett. On target from range. Barrett's got 7 points.
I know Barrett loves to strike from the corners. He just trusts himself to make that shot.
Ball with it. Now guarded by Barrett. And it's Wiseman with the jam.
That's just a great pass. Excellent vision to see the open spot in the defense and lead him to the score.
And Barrett's teammates and coaches love when he shows some edge, slashing to the rim with purpose.
Here he goes. And down it goes. Jam that one home.
Ooh, putting on a show for the fans. Going up for the graceful reverse.
Oh, that had a little extra sauce on it, Grant. Utah trailing here. And Jaden McDaniels picks up the foul. That's his first foul of the game.
First personal foul. Second team foul.
Coulibaly on the wing. To the inside. Pass to Smith. Outside Coulibaly. A chance there to take the lead, but a miss. And a fast break now for the Bulls. Ball with it. Guarded now by Mitchell. Here's Wiseman. Boy, that foul looked intentional. Not exactly what you'd expect here.
Yeah, I know. It just doesn't make sense given the situation.
Fourth team foul. Substitution on the court.
Dosunmu outside. Pass to Johnson. Kessler with it. Smith outside. We've got 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Utah, the rebound. Right side, Barrett. Kessler, a screen. Ooh, tough break there. Shot after shot. They couldn't get anything to fall. Here's Johnson. Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
An aggressive move to a strong finish.
Yeah, and getting out in transition allows for some easy points before that defense is fully set.
Well, it's been a high-scoring, competitive game through the first quarter of play. Chicago ahead. They lead by 3. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter. We'll see what happens here in the second. And before we move on, what do you think about what we've seen here from the Bulls tonight?
I'll tell you what, throughout the first, they did a great job of just running their offense.
Yeah, and I love to see this kind of communication between teammates. Great player movement, great ball movement.
Now, here's Williams. Back to Brunson. Clock at 6. There's a screen by Bull. The Jazz need to get one up in a hurry. Basket is good. Off the assist from Brunson.
And the find by Brunson, more than capable of running the offense.
Pass to Vukcevic. Here's Connect. Brunson defending. Here's Connect. Dosunmu, right side. No good on the triple. And here are the Jazz. They trail by 1. It's off to Philadelphia after this game, where they'll face the 76ers. That's game 3 of 5 on their current trip away from home.
Man, good whistle there.
Utah shooting their first free throws of the game now. And Grant, we know the importance of the veteran leaders on a team, but not every vet wants to accept a mentorship role.
Very true, B.A. In your later years, that role becomes a blend of playing and kind of coaching. Not everyone is cut out for that.
Nice pass by Hero. He is a highly skilled player.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian. The Jazz are making progress. Coach Will Hardy said this team has shown grit and character and has developed a lot of confidence. When we're going through game preparations, the players walk away knowing if they do certain things, they can win. That's a big step in the right direction.
A bright future, Allie. Thank you. Up top, Johnson. Pass to Vukcevic. On the take. And he jams it home with authority.
Oh, what ferocity on the throwdown. I just love when he goes up with purpose.
Where was the D right there? The effort lacking big time.
And with the score as close as it is, these are the opportunities you truly can't allow.
Here's Bull. Chicago making their last shot. Throws it up high.
Oh, what a pass. Those two read each other really well.
Looks like a play they definitely run in practice. And stolen by Hayes. And here's Connect outside. And here's Dosunmu. No points so far. Back to Johnson. Utah grabs the miss.
Well, they know he can finish at the rim, but the defense did just enough to force the miss.
Here's Brunson. Gets the 14-footer to fall.
And I love the trust between Brunson and his guys. I mean, working so hard to set each other up.
The kick out to Johnson. Back to Dosunmu. Pass to Hayes. Down to 5 on the shot clock. No good with the triple. On offense, here's Utah. They've only given up 6 here in this quarter.
And that puts them just 1 foul from the bonus.
Timeout called here. Chicago decides to talk it over. So both teams making some changes here.
Substitution on the court.
Outside Barrett. He takes... Oh, my goodness!
What a dunk!
Such a gutsy player. Barrett takes on challenging defenders in style and stays in control.
Here's the ball. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. It's going to go on R.J. Barrett.
Well, that was clearly a foul.
It's his first trip to the line.
And it's been interesting watching Ball find his place in the league. He's done a good job improving his game and focusing on the things he does best.
Driving inside. Here's McDaniels. Can't get it. Now 3 of 4.
You gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
And Jaden McDaniels picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
2 fouls for him now in the first half. He's going to have to be really smart going forward.
Smith right side. Shot clock at 6. Now here's Barrett. 13 points in the game.
That's a great stop. McDaniels' length, quickness, and body control make him a lockdown defender.
In transition, here they come. So they take the lead. Barrett's got 5 points now this quarter. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for Utah.
Well, so far they've done a great job of reading the offense and repeatedly putting themselves in the right place to interrupt the play and force turnovers.
Yeah, I also like how they've immediately gotten out in transition. They came to run, and we'll see if they can keep it up.
Off with the layup. Utah leading. Pass to Smith. Beyond the arc. No good there.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
Now Hero. It's McDaniels on the wing. And here's Wiseman. Ball outside. And once again, off the mark by Chicago. There's a 4-second difference between the shot and game clock. Here's Coulibaly. Oh, there's a killer 2-hand slam.
And a nice find by Barrett. He has a complete game.
Hero with the bucket. Here's Mitchell.
You'd like to let the clock run and take the final shot.
Yeah, unless it's a gimme, there's no reason to put up an early shot here.
Down low. Deflects the pass. Wiseman with a steal. And so a close game as we wrap up the first half of play. Utah ahead. They lead by a bucket. And we'll be right back after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
33.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been a fairly even one. Mitchell with the ball. Smith outside. From deep, hits the three-pointer. Smith's got his first 3 points of the game.
And Smith has such confidence rising up from deep. This is what's going to make him so dangerous here in the pros.
Ball. And Ball throws it down.
And you have to love it. The floor general taking things into his own hands.
Just the aggression they're looking for, man.
Well, it's always a big plus when you have a point guard that can attack the rim like that, put so much pressure on the defense.
The three from Mitchell. And it's Wiseman with the rebound. Ball outside. Second half getting started. About a minute played. And the layup is good. Ball's got 7.
We've seen that more than once today. An effortless basket inside.
Outside Coulibaly. Outside Mitchell. Buries it from 3. Mitchell's got his second bucket on the night.
Well, those go down for him in his sleep.
Ball taking his time here. There's the drive. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Ball.
I don't know what the heck happened there. That's just a careless turnover.
Utah leading by 4. Here's Barrett. 16 points for him. Outside Mitchell. Right side Bull. And Hero grabs the board. Chicago with the ball. Not sure why he committed the intentional foul. No purpose.
I think everyone's a little confused, but weird plays happen.
2 minutes into the second half of play now. He shoots a three. Rebound, Utah. Here's Barrett. There's the drive. Oh, misses the dunk. The Bulls trail by 4. Inside. Ball no good. And it's Utah with the ball. And the foul called on R.J. Barrett. That's his third foul of the game. And, Coach, you've been lauded by some of your former players for your pregame preparation. I've seen it myself in the broadcasting room.
Well, I've also been cursed by some of those players for my pregame walkthroughs, Brian. People thought they were way too long, but I just wanted to be as prepared as possible and was one that always believed I'd rather do too much than too little.
Tipped. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession.
Oh, a risky pass there. And if you ask me, they're lucky that the defense didn't steal that one.
Pass to connect. The three is up. And once again, off the mark by Chicago. Utah leading by 6. And Jalen Brunson gets the whistle that time. That'll be a second foul of the game.
And great job to establish position and square up.
And here's Dosunmu. Still without a bucket. Kessler with a rebound. And Brunson's got the ball here for the Jazz.
And in the last 2 possessions, they've painted a picture of what not to do. Just way too loose with the basketball.
First team foul.
The Bulls trail by 6. Pass to Hayes. They still need this. Back to Dosunmu. Williams grabs the board. When you're casual with the ball, it can come back to bite you.
Yeah, B.A. Playing loose can help you and hurt you. They really need to tighten it up. Woo! Defensively, you can't afford to let him get to the rim that easily.
Well, that might be why their deficit is what it is right now.
Well, that's too easy. As he says, let me add to my highlight reel.
Utah with the ball. Chicago making their last shot. Bowl, no good.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
Well, I don't think anyone predicted that Jalen Brunson would become the player he is today, Grant.
Yeah, that's for sure, B.A. Or he definitely wouldn't have been a second-round pick. He's a hard worker, a competitor, and an elite offensive player. It's very difficult to slow him down defensively, especially when you have communication problems.
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Jalen Brunson's craft sets him apart. He said, quote, I've always played with my instincts and tried to see the game a couple plays ahead. As I've gotten older, that part of my game has gotten wiser and better, but I'm still learning. Ryan, that's a scary thought for the rest of the league.
He's already plenty dangerous, Allie.
Brunson doesn't fear going in amongst the trees. Remarkable poise there inside.
Dosunmu, left side. The kick out to Johnson. Clock at 4. To the right side. And stolen by Williams. Utah leading by 6. This one for 3. Counted from distance. Williams has gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Dosunmu outside. Out of bounds. It'll be Utah's ball.
Well, that's an unforced error. If you want to drive your coach crazy, that's the way to do it.
Outside Brunson. And stolen by Hayes. 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Let's go with a 3. Utah grabs the miss.
Their strong work ethic has been evident on the glass, really getting after it and being physical.
To the paint. And finished off by Bull.
Here in the second half, they've just found better shots.
Yeah, they've looked really in sync after the break. Getting the shots they want and converting them.
At the line for the Jazz.
5 ticks left in the third quarter. Here's Johnson. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Johnson's got his third bucket of the night.
His nimbleness makes him a unique threat at the rim.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits. It may be difficult to overcome. Utah ahead, leading by 10. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get set for quarter number 4. The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Here's Hero. Pass to McDaniels. Ball with it. Brunson defending. Here's the floater. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Ball.
That's a careless pass and a wasted possession. That's just unnecessary.
The Jazz making a switch here. Smith left side. And the basket good. A bank shot that time.
And there's the length of Smith at work. Playing big on the interior.
Here's Ball. And the shot goes down.
And coming down the stretch, both teams still playing fantastic offense.
Yeah, in hopes that your opponent is just going to go cold. That's not going to happen. It doesn't look like in this one. This might go down to whoever has the last possession.
And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Utah.
Well, look. You have to be able to count on energy and effort every night, and they're showing a lot of it with their transition buckets.
And they've also been so active defensively, getting deflections, forcing turnovers, and scoring off of them.
Hero for 3. The rebound by the Jazz.
They really have a commanding lead, not just in points, but in rebounds as well.
Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. And the Jazz lead by 13.
Like a matador. Olay! There was no defense. That has to be one of the easier shots I've seen tonight.
An unorganized defense like that is not going to help them close this deficit.
And there's the call on Lonzo Ball. That's his first foul. Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. Outside Coulibaly. Into the lane. Throws it down, and the official calls a foul. It may be a 3-point play. That's on James Wiseman. Stan, you've coached some great defensive anchors in your time. Who do you view as the best in the game today?
Well, Brian, you probably have to start with Rudy Gobert, but we've got guys like Brook Lopez, Jaren Jackson, Anthony Davis, and then we've got 2 young ones coming up that could be as good as we've seen in Wemby and Chet Holmgren.
Now here's Mitchell. Outside Barrett. Drives to the hoop.
Yeah, this is the kind of scorer Barrett can be. When he's playing to his strengths, he can catch fire.
And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. Grant, some rookies come into the league with a ton of height. You've lived through that. How does it affect a young player?
Well, B.A., it can be overwhelming, and certainly it's a lot to endure. You're the focus of so much attention, and there are so many expectations. And with all the media these days, it's even more magnified and intense.
If you're just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Outside Coulibaly. Pass to Smith.
Excellent anticipation there to come away with the steal.
Here's Hero. Ball outside. Now here's Wiseman. Wiseman using his size.
Good heads-up play by Ball. He sees an opportunity to create and executes on it.
It's Barrett on the wing. Outside for Mitchell. Coulibaly on the wing. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Smith. And it's Wiseman with the rebound.
They get this rebound, but they haven't been able to keep up on the boards. They're lucky the game is as close as it is.
Well, everyone views Hero as a shooter, but he is also a terrific finisher.
Jazz leading by 9. Outside Mitchell. Down low. Here's Smith. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
And I like to see this from Smith. Pushing the action, not just hanging around the perimeter.
That's good from Smith. Utah making a switch here. Smith hits them both.
We expect nothing less. He's generally been very good at the line.
Here's Hero. And he drives in. Banked it in off the glass. Hero's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, there he is showing off his speed. Hero cuts to find the basket.
Barrett up top. To the middle. Here's Smith. Oh, the dunk by Smith.
Yeah, what an athlete Smith is. Excellent at rising up to punch it home.
Count that bucket.
Nice execution by the offense, generating a good look.
Barrett into the lane. Chicago with a rebound. Outside McDaniels. Pass to Hero. Back to Daniels. With the drive. Second shot opportunity. Out of bounds. It'll be Utah's ball. There's a minute 17 left to play in the fourth quarter. To the inside. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
And this is a game they can build off of. They kept their focus all game long, and it will get marked as a win for the Jazz.
All their efforts on the boards ended up paying off.
And just 2 tough rebounding teams, but they gave the extra effort and were rewarded for it.
And this win will give them 12 on the year thus far.
And with this one all but in the record books, they set the tone in the first of what will be only 2 meetings between these teams.
And as most people predicted, the defense, even though they were keying on him, had no answers for R.J. Barrett.
Well, bottom line, he was just unstoppable at times. Not much you can do when he's playing with that kind of confidence.
Now here's Bowl. Lets the 3 fly. Ball with the rebound.
Honestly, they're just down by too much to mount a comeback.
Well, you want your players to keep playing hard, but let's be honest. This game's over.
Here's Mitchell. Ball with a steal. McDaniels with it. Guarded by Smith. Pass to Ball. Hero outside. The rebound by the Jazz. Fires for 3. The putback.
Jabari Smith.
So we see the Jazz